All right, we are live, Chayton. Chayton, we're live. We're on. I gotta turn up my mic though, I think. Hello. I don't know if it's using this mic or not. Let's see. Yeah, Chayton is playing his drum. Don't lay it on the computer though, please. And playing some music for us to enjoy after this holiday weekend. So I hope everyone out there had a great holiday. We kept busy over the weekend and we did Six Flags on Thursday, and it was surprisingly distracting with you doing that. It was surprisingly busy for okay, thank you, Chayton. Surprisingly busy for a Thursday before a holiday. Why can't I see? No, I don't want to go to my channel. Ooh, we have people here. Sorry, I'm trying to find where the chat went to. I had it, and now I can't find it. Thank you, Chayton. Music by Chayton. All right, I guess I'm just going to have to... Testing. Yes, we tested. We are good. Testing. Okay, can you get back from the mic? So Thursday was Six Flags. Friday, please stop. Friday, we are tested. We are good. Please stop. People are going to hurt their ears. Hello, Mitch Games, and hi, Dubs. Nice to see you again. The lines on Thursday, wow, they were probably on average an hour, with the big ones being more like 75 to 90 minutes plus. We did go back on Saturday again for the 4th of July Fest, which was busy as well, but that was expected to be busy. We had a good time though. We went in the later afternoon and saw some of the shows. We had some skip the line, so some of us were able to do some rides. Kevin actually got on some of his first rides of the season because when he went at the beginning of the year, he didn't want to ride, and then I was just going with the kids. But we actually hadn't been to the park at all in June. I was surprised to realize that because normally over the summer, that's where I go. So I lost it. I have no idea what happened to it. I'm just going to be glancing down at my phone just so you guys know, because enable live chat, enable slow mode, allow live chat to replay. Okay, that's all set. So, all right. So I just wanted to come and say hi and to say that I've been terrible this last month, like getting stuff out and getting to the parks, getting footage. So I'm still working on our Disney/Universal trip that we took at the end of February, early March. I have one more Disney Park day coming out, and then we are going to I'm going to edit the Six Flags videos that I have. I have two, one from Thursday, one from Saturday. And then I'll probably get back to finishing up all of the March trip, because at the end of this month, I'm actually going to be going to Knott's Berry Farm with Talon. So that's something that I've never done before. So I'm excited. If anyone out there has any tips for Knott's Berry Farm, leave them in the comments. So that's where we've been. I've been trying to do some shorts. I've been trying to do at least an episode or two a week, and kind of trying to keep up with it, but kind of failing. So I apologize, but I'm wearing my Six Flags. I'm wearing my Six Flags shirt I love the shirt. It's comfy and I love the colors on it. The tie-dye is in this year again. I got it at the Max Force store last year when the pool was open. So maybe they still have some, but I have to go and I have to look at all their new merch more recently because I haven't seen anything new yet. So Let's talk about Six Flags. So obviously, last year was a bust, at least for the theme park. The water parks were open and they were at, I think, a 25% capacity. When we went last year, we felt perfectly safe. Even being at the water park, you're not going to wear a mask when you're going on the rides and in the pools. So I enjoyed the time last year. It definitely wasn't the same, but yay, we have Six Flags open this year, and it seems to be running at a normal capacity at this point since Illinois is in phase 5. What is your favorite ride at Six Flags? Raging Bull. Yeah, all the way. It's always been my favorite since it came out. It's still so smooth. I still enjoy the butterflies from the big drops, and I wouldn't really call it a G-force coaster, but there is a little G-force when you do the spiral towards the end, and it's awesome just from beginning to end. My runners-up are Goliath, because Goliath is a fantastic ride, and X-Flight. I do love X-Flight as well. So those three are usually, if I would only be able to do 3 rides at the park, those 3 would be the ones that I'd pick. I do have a little bit of a soft spot for Batman, because that ride came out when I think I was in junior high. And my mom and I went to ride it for the first time, and we waited in line, I think it was 3 hours just to ride that ride. And so it has the memories of that for me. Dubs asks, how many times do you think you have been to Six Flags? Are we talking over a lifetime? Because I don't know. But so far this year, since we missed all of June, let's see, we went to the opening day at the theme park. We did member appreciation day at the theme park. I took the girls on their 48-inch coasters for the first time. And then we went twice recently. We went to the opening of Hurricane Harbor Rockford. I don't really count going to, or it wasn't the opening day at Rockford. It was the day after opening day, because opening day we tried to go to Hurricane Harbor in Gurnee, but that was the morning that the film shoot commercial had been moved to the Saturday instead of Friday, which it was better weather. It was still freezing, but at least we had sun. But so by the time we got out of that film shoot and got home to get, I don't remember, I think we were dropping Kevin and Chayton off, and I was taking the other 2 to Hurricane Harbor in Gurnee. And by the time we got there, it was just a few minutes before 2, and they were closing the water park at 2. Because it was so cold that they weren't having that many people interested in showing up. So, so I would say I've probably been to the park 6 times, maybe 7, maybe 8. I'm losing track because we did that huge rush at the beginning of the season to get all of like the openings and everything, and I lost count. But thank you for your questions, Mitch and Dubs. Mitch also asks, what are your thoughts about Superman? Okay, so Chayton keeps jumping off of furniture and he keeps hurting himself, so he should stop jumping off of furniture. I enjoy Superman for the different style of seating. It's unique, at least to me. I'm pretty sure there's other rides at some of the other parks that have that laying down seating, but this is the only one that I've ridden. I have a lot of Six Flags that I want to go to get caught up on all these different rides, but Superman is great for that first inverted loop. That is one of the best features on a roller coaster. X-Flight does it too. They're both great with that. Superman, though, other than that initial loop, I kind of feel it's just, moving around. So I don't really feel like there's that much excitement to the ride. But if the line is short enough, I will absolutely ride it. So that is my long-winded, multi-level peeling an onion relationship with Superman. I don't ever, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I don't feel like I ever dislike a ride. I feel that some of them I'm like, I'm good. I rode it. It was an experience. Demon would be one of those. I like to ride it for the kids. It's a great, mid coaster, getting them off of the toddler coasters and getting them into the bigger 48-inch ride since it's a 42-inch. It's right there in the middle. But I will say that the beginning of 2019, I believe when I took the kids to opening day that year, I rode with them on it. And I believe in the video, I even said that it felt so much smoother than it had in the past. And then it was later on in the season, it got back to being a little rough. But I think that when they do replace some of the pieces and they work on realigning the rides, that it really does help. Demon, I wouldn't say that I'd want to see it go, but if they were going to take away a ride, see, I say for me, I'm okay with them taking it away, but I think that because it's a 42-inch ride, it makes it very unique in that being a good stepping stone of a coaster. I remember back in the day that Rolling Thunder was around. That was, I don't remember the height on that because it was only there for a short period of time. And I think I was like 5 to 7 when it went out. And it, thinking back to it, I'm not sure if the idea of a coaster going from a tube to a track is really the safest idea. But after watching videos of it again online more recently, I'm like, oh, okay, I get how they're doing that because kind of it overlaps to make it a smoother transition. But I always thought that it was funny to think that that was a good idea for a ride, but it's rolling around somewhere. I remember seeing that it was at someone's park. I don't know if it's a Six Flags park though. And you are welcome, Mitch. Are you hesitant about riding Superman? Is that one that you haven't done yet? You also asked, how many Six Flags parks have I been to? So me personally, I have been to 4. As a family, we've only been to 3. So Six Flags Great America, our home park, main one I've ever gone to. When I was in college in Southern Illinois. And so for 2 years, I conned my friends into going with me to the St. Louis one. And I remember it was Mr. Freeze. That was my most memorable ride. So that one was a lot of fun. We've been to, as a family, the Six Flags over Georgia, which when we went the last time, which was, I believe, in 2019, the stuff that I lost all the footage for, we were there and there were bees everywhere, I remember. And we were on Screaming Eagle, which is pretty similar to American Eagle. It may have been a little rougher, but I remember coming in and you go under the woodwork to the wood frame to get to the loading dock. And there were the carpenter bees just everywhere under there. And it gave me the heebie-jeebies. So that one, they have a lot of similar rides to what we have. Some of them are just named differently. So they do have, though, I believe it's the Georgia Scorcher is a stand-up ride. And I don't remember what park Iron Wolf ended up at. I don't think, maybe it was Georgia. Maybe it is the Georgia Scorcher. If you know out there where Iron Wolf is at the moment, let me know because I can't think of it off the top of my head. But that's one ride that Talon he wasn't 54 inches at the time that we were there. So now it's a whole other ball game for him. Same with the last park that we've been to, the Six Flags Magic Mountain in the LA area. That one, and I hate to say this because I do like Great America, but that park is my absolute favorite park. So hear me out on this. So at Magic Mountain, and keep in mind, this is for a family point of view, since we have younger kids. They have a fantastic kids area there. They have this multi-level building that has these like shooting guns to shoot balls across the room, and it's just this giant play area. If you are old enough to remember when Six Flags Great America had the Looney Tunes play area, it's similar to that, but it's indoors. I love that play area, and I wish that they still had it. But also, the Magic Mountain, their version of Giant Drop, I believe it's Lex Luthor's Drop of Doom. It's a 400 and something foot drop, as opposed to Giant Drop is in the mid 200 range. So it's a higher drop, and I remember being up there and feeling like I was swaying in the wind as we were waiting to be dropped. They have the dueling coaster Colossus that actually is featured in the intro to Step by Step. So that was a fun little tidbit that we learned. And the story behind that, Talon was 48 inches at the time. He had been riding other rides that were 48 inches and up. They got to the ride, measured him at the beginning of the line to make sure that he was tall enough, walked all the way through the line, which it was a busy day when we were there, so it was probably a good 45-minute wait. Got to the front, and the person that was running the lines had him go and stand by their measure thing over by where you get on, and they're like, oh, he can't ride, he's not 48 inches. If you have been to any of the parks, you probably know that sometimes the ground settles around those areas. So you're lower than what the 0 inch would be. So you're actually starting the negative. And that was the case for that area, for that one particular height restriction. And so they had to get out of line because they wouldn't let them ride. So if you have, here's a tip. And hopefully Mike is listening because I'll probably forget about this by then. But if you have kids that are right at that, like right at 48 inches, but they can ride, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to go to the Ride Information Center and get a wristband for them, because I'm sure that their measuring implement is more accurate there. And then they get the wristband in the color of what they can ride. I can't stop. I'm explaining. I'm interrupting his playtime, apparently. And that way your kids won't have to be measured every single time, and you save yourself a headache of waiting 45 minutes to be told. No, they're not. Let me look at the questions and see if, not to change the subject, but what other parks have you been to? Have you been to Kings Island? Good question. That was something that I wanted to talk about because I have not been to Kings Island. Do you want those? No? You're just going to walk away? Okay. Yes, I have not been to Kings Island, nor have I been to Cedar Point. I know. Those are two big ones that my husband has been to, and I hope to go to one day, maybe when Chayton's a little bit bigger and both Talon and Raven are big enough to do everything. I don't know if you've seen our vlog where we took him on the Hometown Fun Machine, but he does not like rides. The only thing he did enjoy was Crazy Cars over in Kidsopolis. So, but yes, I want to go to Kings Island, Cedar Point. I went to a park in the Muskegon, Michigan area. My aunt used to live there, so we were there visiting one time, and we went to a theme park there, and I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it was fun. We didn't I don't know if we spent the whole day there. I don't remember too much about it. I was younger. So parks that I do remember, Universal Studios, both Orlando and Hollywood, Disney World, all the parks in Orlando, Disneyland and DCA in California. I think I haven't really been to a whole lot other than that. I'm trying to think if there's, I mean, with living so close to Six Flags, we always, our trips out of town were usually to go and do more educational, like Mount Rushmore. We did what do you call it? The place in California with all the trees. Sorry, my brain is not functioning today for thinking of names of things. But the place where you drive through and it's all like see animals there and see the trees growing and everything. Yeah. I'm just rambling at this point. So, I mean, I did go to Disney and to Universal with my family growing up as well, but it was usually bookmarked with educational trips. I do want to go. So if you remember back in the day, Nickelodeon Studios used to be a part of Universal in Orlando, and they are now their own theme park in the Mall of America. So that is something I would like to do one day because they have their indoor theme park there. These last 16 months has not been the best for an indoor theme park, but there's so much that I want to do. I want to go to both of the Texas Six Flags. I want to do the Northern California Six Flags. Want to do New Jersey because I really want to ride King Ka. And I mean, just every Six Flags park that I can think of. Overseas, though, I also have ideas for overseas because I'd love to go to Universal Japan because they have the Jaws ride, which that was always one of my favorite rides at Universal in Florida. And it took me a long time to forgive Harry Potter for that, for taking it away. So Universal in Japan has that. Japan, Disneyland would be fantastic to try. Disneyland Paris. If we end up in Ireland next year, I do want to go. They have a place called Tatoland, and I want to go just because it's called Tatoland. I think it's more of like a permanent carnival style theme park, amusement park. I don't know what you would consider. That would probably just be amusement park. And then, yeah, I mean, I want to hit so much. Oh, no, I've been to other theme parks. In our spring of 2019 playlist was all of the non-Disney and Universal parks that we went to. Hello. SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, Legoland. So those were, because whenever we've gone as a family, we've always done Disney or Universal. And so we wanted to do some of the other parks that are still fantastic down there. Busch Gardens is amazing. I would highly recommend it. If you haven't seen our videos on those, you can find it in our Spring Break 2019 playlist on our channel. Let's see. Iron Wolf got transferred to Six Flags America, and then it got changed to Firebird, and the floor got removed. Thank you, Mitch. That's it. So, yeah. My son, Talon, Iron Wolf has been gone since I think before he was born. He was born in 2011. I'm pretty sure it was 2009. But he was upset that he didn't get to try the stand-up coaster because it is a very unique experience. Absolutely. Would highly recommend it if you have any stand-up coasters near you. Just be careful that you're hydrated because I normally would tend to gray out on the ride during the loops because all the blood rushes to the head and it can be a little discontorting. That's not a word, but I'm going to call it that. So Firebird, yes, great, not Great America, America. That's right. He had done the research on where it ended up, and he was like, "Oh, we need to go to America to ride on it." And then he read a story down the road, and he's like, "They changed it, so it's no longer standing." But correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know if you mentioned this already. I have to read through more comments, but I believe the Georgia Scorcher is an actual stand-up coaster. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that I was watching the videos, right? What is a ride that you have always wanted to go on? King Ka, definitely, because it's one of the tallest, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's got the same feel as Max Force and Mr. Freeze, except Mr. Freeze and Superman are backwards takeoffs, whereas I believe King Ka is a forward takeoff like Max Force. So I definitely want to do that. I want to go again on Jaws in Universal Japan. Tangent funny story, which I think I mentioned when we went to Universal for Kevin's birthday, but for Jaws, we were there in 2007. That was the last time we were at Universal in Orlando before they closed down Jaws. I brought my camera, but it wasn't like, it was back in 2007. I didn't have a smartphone. The cameras were, the Sony, like, boxy looking ones, and we didn't want it to get wet. So I had Kevin, I gave him the responsibility to film Jaws the ride because it was my favorite ride. It was the last time I figured I would ever ride on it, and I wanted to enjoy it. Well, he had it off when it should have been on and on when it should have been off. So we were filming him putting the camera down real fast to make sure it didn't get wet. So I have to look through my history of videos that I have. I'm going to put some extras stuff up at some point in the future, and I'll try and find that because it's actually quite humorous. I was sad and upset for a long time, though, for it, but I can't blame the guy. I put the responsibility on him. So Jaws, it was my favorite. Other rides that I would want to do, I want to do everything at every theme park that I can make it to in my lifetime, in my roller coaster riding lifetime. We'll see, because spinny rides are starting to get to me. But I feel like I still want to do it no matter what. Mitch, have you ever been to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Universal Studios? Yes, we did. We went this last trip, which I haven't gotten to the editing phase of that trip just yet, but we did go into the Wizarding World. We did almost everything. We didn't have a wand, so we didn't do the interactive stuff, but I did get other people doing the interactive stuff. Back in 2019 in February, that was when Kevin and I went solo right before the pandemic happened, and we did everything that we could at Universal, and we also hit it there. So you can find those videos in our Universal Studios playlist, and we tried butterbeer. We got one of those chocolate frogs, which, by the way, the chocolate frogs, I think, so it's this big piece of chocolate in the shape of a frog. I was trying to bite it, and it was so hard to bite because it was so solid. I was thinking, wouldn't it be awesome to get the chocolate frog, but inside it has like pretzels and like cherry or strawberry, like a coulis kind of thing, and maybe like a lighter nougat, and that way when you bite into it, it's like biting into a real frog. Like, if Universal does that, give me credit, Universal, because I was actually thinking of trying to find a frog mold and making my own, because you get the crunch of the bones from the pretzels, and then, what the coulis would be, and chewiness of the nougat. I know it probably sounds gross, but they invented the Bean Boozled, which we did do a Bean Boozled day a long time ago. It's still on my computer. I'm looking at the folder called Bean Boozled because I haven't finished editing it yet, but that will come out. So, but Harry Potter. So I have never been big into reading. So I never read the Harry Potter series, most of the movies I watched with my bestie because she loved them, and I would catch, bits and pieces here and there. But I will say that being in that part of the park it's just amazing at how they get all the details and all the interactive elements, and they have it on point. It's very well themed. That's bottom line. But Wizarding World took away Dueling Dragons and Jaws the Ride, which were two of my favorites there. So again, I guess I'm still bitter about it a little bit, but I do enjoy the rides in there are fantastic. I honestly didn't know what to expect with the Forbidden Journey, because when people who had ridden it were explaining it to me, I thought it was more like soaring around the world where you're all like lined up and it's a big screen. But no, it is very, very encompassing. Like you really feel part of it. Same with Gringotts, the Gringotts Bank. Gringotts. I never pronounced that right. I had problems in those videos pronouncing it. I think I'm saying it okay now. But yeah, those two rides are great. Hagrid's is fantastic. It's one of my favorite rides, I would say. But still, Dueling Dragons was pretty awesome. You guys got me over my fear of roller coasters, and I thank you so much for that, Joe C. Oh, Joe, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so glad that you got on. Which rides did you do, and how would you rate them? I'm very curious what your opinions are as a first-time rider. Josh, I'm planning to go to Kings Island this Friday. I could make a video blog of it and post it on my own channel if you would like. Please do. Please. I want to see. So I follow Ordinary Adventures. They're a couple, Kitra and Peter. They vlog out in California, and they have a lot of Knott's Berry Farm stuff. So I plan to watch their Knott's Berry Farm stuff before I go there. I love to watch. I mean, what got me into vlogging was the Tim Tracker, because we were watching videos to try and plan our Disney vacation, because when you have the excitement of it coming up, I feel like I need to watch all the rides to keep me calm, because I would be bouncing off the walls. My friends who have seen me get excited to go to Six Flags St. Louis will agree. So I love watching where I'm going to go. That way I can have a plan. I don't like to make certain times for plans, but I like to have an idea of where I'm going. I even sometimes take the maps from offline and I enlarge it, and I print out on pieces of paper the different sections and tape it together so I can map out my plan sometimes. I try to take it easy though at the parks. Six Flags Great America, since it's our home park, I don't feel like I have to do a whole lot when I go, because we're able to get there and do a couple of rides and call it a day. I'd rather see people who are coming in and visiting for the first time get to experience the whole thing. And tangent, sorry, I keep going off on tangents. I hope you guys are entertained by tangents, because they're fun. So Six Flags, I grew up here in the area, so it was always my go-to park. I would go with my friends. We'd get a group of us, 6 or 8 of us, and we'd go and spend pretty much the whole day there. And we would hit every ride, both coasters and even the flat rides, because I remember back in the day, it wasn't an hour seemed like a long wait at the time. So seeing these rides with 90 plus minutes, it really shows how much more popular the park is rather than back in the day when I was there. But yeah, we used to be able to hit everything that we'd want to. Thank you for all of this garbage. Isn't that so awesome? Mom always needs garbage to clean up. So Josh, in order to answer your question, yes, please record and let me know when it's out. You can always if anyone ever wants to hit us up, I am on Instagram at Meyer Marker Brittany, and we have our Facebook page. So if you're on Facebook, you can message us on Facebook too. Let me know when you got something out there so I can, because I don't always see the YouTube notifications. I'm terrible at the notifications. Sometimes I'll have comments from months ago that I'm like, oh, I did not answer those. So I apologize if you're one of those. What do you guys feel about Six Flags opening up again with no masks? Will you guys be going back? So we did actually go this last Thursday and Saturday, which they were really busy days, and there was a lot of people there. My husband and I are actually vaccinated, and I know that that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't get it. So I wasn't so good about it on Saturday, but when we were in like a crowded area waiting in line for something, I put on my mask. I had the kids wearing their mask except Talon, who refused. So he'd better be willing to get vaccinated when the time comes. I think I'm comfortable if we are outside and staying, there's always so much back and forth about everything with the illness that, I mean, I take things with a grain of salt and I do what I feel comfortable doing. Everyone should do what they feel comfortable doing. There were still people wearing masks there. There were people not wearing masks there. It's all about your comfort level. I'm actually not even sure if they're really following the 6-foot distancing. I mean, I try to keep my distance. I liked keeping my distance when it was before the pandemic anyways, because I don't like to be that close, especially with so many people in the heat. I smell too when we're in the heat. Trust me, I get it. It's a human function, but I will probably feel more comfortable with lower crowds and not wearing a mask. We did go to the water parks last summer. We didn't wear a mask when we were at the water parks. Again, that was a 25% capacity. And now that the theme park is pretty much at 100% capacity, it does get crowded. So if you're in a crowd, then, I mean, it's up to your comfort level. I felt okay. I felt like there was enough space other than when we were watching the block party and fireworks. I felt like there was enough space though that you didn't have to be close to someone. And I always, even when they had the mask rule and the 6-foot distance rule, I just made sure that I had the space in front of me and kept my back to everyone else and kept the kids in front of me. So that way I knew that I had my bubble as, protected as I could in that situation. But definitely it's totally something that is, there's ups and downs, pros and cons, to everything. I hope that if people are feeling ill, that they don't go for the sake of others and themselves, because you don't want to be out in the heat, walking around a theme park, being that sick, and obviously not wanting to transfer it, and you're going to run yourself down. It's going to take your immune system that much more to effectively fight it off. So hopefully everyone is just trying to be as safe and as careful as they can while still enjoying this season, because we didn't have a last season. So just recently, okay, this is Mitch, sorry. So just recently we went to Six Flags Great America and we were dying of thirst and we couldn't find any water bottles for less than $7. So do you have any tips for that? You can bring in your own water. If you have water bottles, they just can't be opened, I think. You can bring in your own thermos as well, and like something like this. And as long as it's empty when you enter, they did open up the water fountains and especially the water bottle filler stations. They have one of those, I know, in the county fair food area over by Thrill Burger. No, by the pizza, between Thrill Burger and the pizza. I think that they're throughout the park though, so you can find them. Now, I personally feel like water should be available because even when we first get to the park, we have our season bottles, so we get the free refills. But even when you first get there, the line to get the drinks is definitely a longer line, and I am usually already parched, so I usually fill up my water bottle with some ice water just to have on hand. If you have kids, they can bring in like a sippy lidded cup with whatever you want for them. I don't think that they don't usually check. I mean, they usually let you bring in stuff for the kids, like snacks and drinks and everything, especially. And if you have any medical conditions that you need to bring in snacks, you're allowed to do so as well. Hopefully, they will get the refill stations open, the self refill stations open again. I miss my Coca-Cola Freestyle because when I'm there, I like to get diet drinks because I feel like I don't want to drink all the sugar. I want to eat my calories / carbs. So I usually like to get like a diet Powerade or a diet Sprite that's flavored or a diet cherry Coke. The diet Coke is the only thing that you can get diet there too. So the freestyle machines are fantastic. I think they should have more of them. I think they should be throughout the park because I don't like to go all the way to Hometown Square to refill a drink when I'm overweight in line for Batman. But places should be giving you. I think that you can ask for a cup a cup of iced water from places. It might be small, but it's at least something. I don't know if you can mobile order that, but I mobile ordered our drink refills, and I find that sometimes those are available quicker than waiting in a line at one of the snack stands. So I hope that I answered your question. Joe, I have done all the rides at Six Flags Great America because it is my home park too. Raging Bull has to be my favorite, and Goliath is a close second. I love all the rides there though. Joe, completely agree with you. The only rides that I'm not a big fan of is the ones that are a little bit more rougher, just because I'm getting older and I don't think I can handle them as easily. So Viper, Demon, and American Eagle, I have done them this year. Oh, not Demon. No, we haven't done Demon yet, and Demon is closed right now. So I heard a yell. I need to check on something. I'm so sorry, but I got to make sure everything's okay. Hang in there. Stay tuned for more Mile Markers in a sec. Where's he at? Back. See, I wasn't gone that long. I heard Kevin yell something and went in. I'm like, did you just scream? He's like, yep. Okay. Back to what we're talking about. So those rougher ones, I will still ride, and I'll ride Demon with the kids once it's back up and running from getting the piece replaced that it's waiting on. I love coasters in general. I'll still ride the rough ones. The roughest ride though, sorry, this is a tangent. The roughest ride I've been on has to be the mine train at Six Flags Over Georgia. That one was rough. I don't think that I would be doing that one again, going back down there. Like more so than what we're used to up here. So but yes, I love coasters, and Goliath absolutely is my second favorite, followed by X-Flight. I do love Batman. As I said before, it's one of the ones that I hold deep in my heart, with my history with it. Max Force is a good ride. In 2019, I thought that Max Force slowed down before going up the hill, so I felt like it lost some of that G-force with the butterflies. But this year when I rode it, it was perfectly fine. So it was fast right up until that incline. All right. Oh, we got some junkies in here. I'm assuming it's Bob. Hi. Mitch, do you have any tips for lines? Because when I went to Six Flags, we went on an ordinary weekend and some rides took over an hour, and we didn't want to get Flash Pass either because it was too expensive. I understand. As far as what I've heard in tips, like I said, when I go, I'm not really trying to get on everything. So I don't really have any like personal like situations to compare to. But I was told that first, I mean, obviously, if you get there first thing in the morning, there's going to be more opportunity to get in first and to get to the rides that you want to hit first. Goliath fills up fast, so that's a good one to hit right away. Superman can too. Raging Bull doesn't usually get to be over an hour, but yeah, I mean, if you can go on a weekday, weekdays are definitely going to be a little bit, well, I say that, but I've been looking at, so I'm in a couple of different groups on Facebook that's for fans of Six Flags. If you aren't in those, then you can hit up Six Flags. Sorry, brain function, please. Six Flags Great America Family United and Six Flags Great America Junkies. And in there, you could search for anything and you'll probably find an answer. But so in these groups, they've mentioned hitting Goliath first and getting there as soon as you can, which, I mean, yeah, first thing in the day, you're going to definitely get to more stuff. But I realized I was on a tangent about the weekday thing. That's right. So posts lately have shown that weekdays are not necessarily less crowded. When we went this last Thursday, it was pretty busy. It could still be because it's around a holiday weekend. So it very well could clear up. And I might be trying to go sometime this week, if not next week, to see what the crowd levels are like during the week. You could always hit up the water park first and let some of the crowd ease out of the park later in the day. Sometimes you find people leave the park to either eat at their car or go to a restaurant to eat. So you might be able to hit some stuff in the afternoon. If there's any big shows or any like during Fright Fest, lots of people like to be in Hometown Square for the Parade of the Dead. And correct me if I'm saying if that's not what it's called, but during that time, you could probably get on a ride or two pretty fast. It's hard. This year has definitely been a busier year. I'm sure part of it is because we had the pandemic last year. People are excited to get back to the parks. Now that the mask regulation has been lifted, that's probably also playing a part in it. But it's definitely a busier year. Hopefully, maybe things will ease up. I think everyone's just so excited to get back to some sort of activity that reminds us of more normal times. Dubs, how long do you normally stay on a hot day? So Saturday for the 4th of July Fest, it was pretty hot. We were there from 4 o'clock until after 10. They were open until 10 and we stayed to watch the fireworks. If it's a really hot day though, and we're like dripping sweat, I'd say we can't do more than like 4 hours. Sometimes I like to just go just to grab a bite to eat, ride a ride, walk around the park and maybe get some steps in, especially on warmer days. I do like going to the water parks pretty frequently too. So that way we can, have a park day, but keep cool. Junkies, bottled water is now $3.99 for 1, 2 bottles for 7. Membership discounts apply. That's good to know too. Yes, you did mention that in your group. All restaurants will, I'm assuming, you're referencing the cup of water. Yeah, give you a cup of ice water. Yes, Bob. Okay, just checking. Is there, Mitch, is there any specific day of the week that has the shortest lines? That's what I wanted to find out this year. And since I missed the park like all of June, I don't know what I'm going to be able to cover, but I have an idea for a playlist. So I'm going to be there to record a lot. So maybe I can find that information out by going every day. I'm thinking as close to midweek might be the best. I could be wrong about this, but I think that more people will be likely to take off a Thursday and Friday, or a Friday or just a Thursday, or possibly elongate their weekend by taking off a Monday and or Monday, Tuesday. So Wednesday may be a good day to go, but things are very different this year. I would definitely, so one thing I get why they don't do it, but I wish that they did, is to show times of rides on the app when you're not at home. But correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, isn't there a website that people can visit to check on wait times for parks? Let me know if that's accurate, because then you could always take a quick look before going to the park. But obviously you would not be there at open, and so you wouldn't necessarily be able to plan that day. And Bob is someone who has been around the parks a few times, so he knows what he's talking about. Bob, if there's any day that you can think of, or if you agree on Wednesday, let us know in the comments, because I'm not. The Uprising. That's right. Thank you. It's been so long. We need Fright Fest. We're getting Fright Fest. But Dubs, what is your favorite part of the water park? So from a family perspective, my favorite part of the water park is Skull Island at the Gurnee location, and it's Tiki Island at the Rockford location. I like these areas because they can incorporate a wider age group. So Chayton, he's not much into rides, but he likes to play on splash pads and in shallow water. So they've got that there. They've got the climbing features. They've got the water slides there. So we can spend a good hour there and have everyone be happy. I like the zero depth entry pool there. That's just from a relaxing perspective. When Chayton's older too, I'll be able to even relax a little bit more, but I usually just sit with him in the shallower parts of the water while the big kids go and play, since they're both decent swimmers. I will say though, Rockford has been one of my favorite water parks to be at with the family, because it's a smaller park, and other than being in Tiki Island, you can pretty much see the entire park from anywhere that you are. So you can see if your kids are going off on a slide and you are at the wave pool with the younger one. So that's why I like that park the most. But they're both fun parks. There's more to do in Gurnee, the new water coaster. I still haven't ridden yet because we haven't made it there since opening weekend. So bad. We're going to get back to the parks. So I'll hopefully have updates to answer those questions that I haven't been able to fully answer for you. Mitch, what do you recommend for tickets? Season pass, membership, or daily pass? This is completely based on individual people and their use of the park. So we have the Diamond Elite VIP membership because we had the Diamond Elite previously, and we paid for it through the pandemic because we did end up going to the water park last year. So I think that is great for our family, because even before the pandemic, we got 2 skip the lines per person. And with having Chayton not being able to ride rides, it was nice to be able to switch off and do the fast pass lane for those. Flash Pass. Sorry, I always confuse every park's version of this and never know what to call it. Flash, because it's part of the theming of the park. So yes. So the membership was great for that. It's also great because obviously season passes go on super sale at different points throughout the year. Instead of paying the 200 and something, you pay the 60 something. It is all upfront at once. And if you have a family of 4 or 5 or more, it's going to cost, a decent amount up front. The memberships are great because you can pay monthly. And the gold membership, I think the monthly cost starts at just under $7. There's a link on Six Flags webpage under the tickets and pass information, and you can compare to see like what you get with each level, and it's going to absolutely be up to each individual. With our membership, we get 50% off of merchandise and food. We also do pay for the food dining pass. So we use it more for the merchandise aspect. But the skip the lines were really what sold us on it. So that way we can get to do the couple of rides that we want to do faster with having a toddler that can't do them. So if you go more than once, definitely at least get a season pass, because the daily tickets, you're going to be paying more if you go 2 times with the daily ticket. They were running the deal. I don't know if they still are. Maybe Bob knows if they're running the deal with upgrading for $20 with your daily ticket. That may not be going on now since it's past. I think it was originally supposed to be a Memorial Day event. But you can always look at their website. They'll tell you what deals they have going on. They always have deals come up around Memorial Day, Labor Day, Fright Fest, maybe around Christmas time too, or the holiday time, because of Holiday in the Park. That was just newer, not that long ago though. So, but you can always find a season pass for the discounted price of 60 something. Yeah, daily tickets to me are just if you're in and just planning to go one day and you're visiting. But then if you did get a daily ticket, I would highly recommend spending the extra amount for the Flash Pass, because it's going to help you hit more stuff. The Platinum one, it cuts down your time by 90%. So you don't have to wait in line. And I believe that each Flash Pass is good for about 6 people. I'm sure it says on the website though for that. So hope that answers your question, but it really is on an individual basis and what you're going to be using your pass for. If you're just trying to get into the park and you're not looking for any perks, season pass will be the cheapest option. But the membership passes do have some benefits to them, including the discounts, and we get our drink bottle with our membership. So it's worked out really well for us. I really highly recommend doing the season dining too if you're going more than once, because it pays for itself really fast, and you can even get food to go. Well, last year it was easier to get to go. Now they're doing plates instead of boxes. So sometimes if you balance plates on each other though, they make it home. I think I'm clocking. Am I clocking on you guys? Okay. It looks like I'm back. What are your thoughts? Oh, I missed. Okay. Tickets. Okay. Mitch, what are your thoughts on Fright Fest and Holiday in the Park? Halloween is my absolute all-time favorite holiday. I love decorating our yard with, I try to go more spooky than like cutesy. I have a whole 31 Days of Halloween playlist. If you haven't seen my Halloween playlist, I tried making a treat every day that had to do with Halloween. And I walked through some of our Halloween decor. I even built one during one of the episodes. So Fright Fest, I so look forward to that every year, except for last year. In 2019, Kevin and I did the 6 houses, and we recorded our reactions afterwards. We recorded around the park. Lost that footage. So, and then last year there wasn't one. So I'm looking forward to getting back to the parks and highlighting some of the Fright Fest stuff. Being in the Six Flags Great America Family United group, I've gotten to meet a lot of people who have been a part of Fright Fest, and it's a lot of fun talking to them and hearing their stories on it. Fright Fest is just, to me, it's a fun time. It's still warm at the beginning because they usually open I think it's like September 14th, if I'm not mistaken. And when opening weekend, when we went in 2018, which that video is on our Six Flags playlist, that was such a warm day. I was in a tank top. We were all in shorts. It was nice. But then it's always getting cold by the end of Fright Fest. But then when they have like all the fire elements out, it's fun. They do have the fire pits for roasting marshmallows around the Holiday in the Park. And I enjoyed Holiday in the Park. I think that I like the walkthrough better than the drive-through. But sorry for the screaming. Kids. Can't have them on screen with me. Can't kick them out of the house. Yes, it's Mickey. He got Mickey goldfish snacks, and he's so excited. So Holiday in the Park walkthrough, I enjoyed more because you could take in more of the elements and didn't have to worry about about driving and trying to look. So we did both the drive-through though as well, because the drive-through was great for the fact that it's cold here in the Midwest during Holiday in the Park. So driving through with your heat on, listening to the music on your car, it was definitely still fun to do. But if you're only going to do one or the other, I would recommend the walkthrough. And I would also recommend going and getting those hot hands and hot feet. And they have body warmers too. Like, we get ourselves all heated up for walking through because it is a cold day. If I had to choose between Fright Fest and the Holiday in the Park, I would choose Fright Fest. Fright Fest it's just so lively and fun, and the scare actors really get into it. They really enjoy what they do, so it makes it a lot more enjoyable. I need a sip of water, sorry. One thing that I do want to do eventually, and this has nothing to do with Six Flags, but I want to go to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal because I want to do their houses and see their scare zones as well. It just seems like so much fun to do that too. I really did like the houses that they had at Fright Fest. What was it? Would I say it was 2019? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh, we went to Universal in February of 2020. I forget what year it is sometimes. So welcome to my world, my brain. But don't play with that, please. Please, that's my light. He's gonna break my light. The houses were really cool. I grew up terrified of clowns, so the Big Top Terror was one I was nervous about, but I think that I've gotten, Chayton, please. I think I've gotten over my fear. Can you please let go? Thank you. Of clowns enough to be able to enjoy a haunted house with them. Pee-wee's Big Adventure used to scare me. So that one was good. They were all really good, I have to say. So we got the wristband because with here's another perk to the membership. Free haunted house wristband for each person. Kevin and I are the only ones who have done the haunted houses. Talon says he's going to do them this year, but we'll see. Are you making it a disco light off and on? Can we just leave it on, please? So we upgraded ours and paid, it was, I think, $15 extra per person to do please don't lean on it. Oh my goodness. I feel like I can't concentrate now with him in here. So we upgraded for the Flash Pass line for the haunted houses, and it was really worth it. I really did enjoy. We went through each of the 6 houses twice. So we definitely got our fill of haunted houses. But it's just such an experience. I love it. It's so much fun. Mitch says, have you ever been on Daredevil Dive? If so, what are your thoughts? No, I have not. So all the way back to junior high, my friends and I, we always would look at it, waiting in line for American Eagle, and we always talked about it. We were like, if we can get 3 people together, it's only $15 a person. I don't know if that's accurate pricing still. That's what it was back in the day. 45 for 1, 30 per person for 2, and 15 per person for 3. So it was definitely worth it to have 3 people. But we never actually ended up doing it. And I've never actually done anything like that, or like the reverse bungees where it catapults you. I think it down in Florida, we saw, I think, Vomitron, I think is what it was. It's like this roadside one that it shoots the car up on the bungee. So I've always wanted to do those, but I just never have. I did talk to someone at the park on Saturday who had done it, though, and he said that it was very thrilling. He said it was more thrilling than he thought. So it seems like it would be something fun to do. And I would still like to do it one day. Knock it off that bucket list, you know. Mitch, do you like the amusement park more or the water park more? Amusement park. Like, I like water. We have a boat, so we go out and we splash around in the water. We used to have a pool. I do like water, but I don't necessarily like being at the water park. I don't like, all right, girly moment. I don't like getting my hair wet when I take the time to straighten it. So I like the rush of the coasters. So it's like if back in the day when I went, it was all about riding coasters, get that adrenaline going. Nowadays, I like just being in the park and letting my kids do some rides and just looking around and seeing everything going on. But thrills over chills, I would say, for me. And I don't mean chills by Six Flags Fright Fest. I mean chills by the cooling off of the water park. Hello, Talon.
Ow.
Bob says Wednesday is the busiest weekday. That's interesting. I would think people would want to take off earlier or later. I don't know. This year has just been busy in general.
Wait, Mom.
Dubs, do you guys have a lot of merch? Do we have a lot of merch that we collected from the theme parks? Is that the question? Joe, good evening. Hey, how are you? We're doing good. I hope you're doing well too. Do you think they should rebuild the Eagle? So I am 50-50 on this. Looking at what some of the predictions of what that coaster could be being rebuilt into a hybrid, it looks like it would be amazing. But we do already have Goliath, which is amazing. So seeing the Eagle just be refurbished to what it was, where maybe they could get the coasters to go together, maybe even do one backwards again for like permanent, because you didn't know that, huh?
They used to have one going backwards?
The blue car for one of the anniversaries of the Eagle went backwards, and it was the best ride.
I only knew it would go backwards on the Viper.
Oh, they did it backwards on the Viper. Did we do it on the Viper? Did we go? We went backwards.
We did it on the Viper. And then
right.
at first I didn't know what it meant by backwards. I said it meant going reverse.
Yeah, no.
I was like,
it doesn't work that way.
No,
Gravity doesn't help in that case.
No, you'd be like, trying to go up the hill. Oh, I can't make it.
Yeah. So as cool as American Eagle would be, rebuilt into a hybrid coaster. I think that just making it as beautiful as it can be at what it is, I think that probably would be the way to go. I'd hate to see how long it would take to rebuild it completely into a hybrid coaster too. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it is one of the rougher coasters to me, but hello, Raven. I don't know. What do you guys think of Eagle? Would you guys want to see it rebuilt to be more like Goliath? Yeah, that's why we don't walk on the table, because we hit our heads on the lamp or on the light, the fixture.
Yeah, it would probably be way better. It'd probably be better, not too much better, but still better.
I'm assuming it would be more like Colossus. Or no, is it not Colossus? Oh, wait,
It's
no.
called Colossus.
No, what's the one
Stop,
called
stop.
at Magic Mountain? It's the hybrid coaster, but it's
I
not
know
Colossus.
I know what it is. I can't remember the name.
It's I forget now. Oh, if anybody knows, let me know in the comments. But there is a ride at Magic Mountain that is a hybrid coaster. It's white and I think green. Mainly white, but it's the hybrid R&M thing. Hi, Raven. Do you like Eagle the way it is, Rave? Yeah. That was her first time in the video where I took the girls on the wooden coasters. They had never been on Viper, American Eagle, and Goliath, so those were the rides that we hit. And they had a lot of fun, especially on, I felt more comfortable with her on Goliath than anything else because of the restraint is a nice tight restraint, whereas the Eagle and the Viper, the lap bar is for petite people like Raven. It doesn't go down as much, and you kind of have to tuck the buckle in to get it tightened. It's one of those things. So my phone is going to die in 20%, so I won't be able to see comments at that point. So I'll talk until my phone dies or until we run out of topics to talk about. Joe, what do you think? What are your opinions on it? I am curious. Like, is this something that Chayton, do not hit your head again, please? Is this something that you want to see done? Are you also 50-50 on it?
Watch my phone if you want when yours dies.
Oh, well, I mean, we've been going for an hour and 11 minutes. I'm not sure if people are going to want to hang out too much longer. Mitch, what are your thoughts about Vertical Velocity? When I went on this ride, it took an hour and a half to get on, and it took almost 2 minutes to get the ride started.
Wow.
Yes, it is a ride that, and I know that there's some fans of Vertical Velocity out there, but it is a ride that, Chayton, watch your head. Sorry. It's a ride that I would not wait that long for because of the duration of the ride. I probably wouldn't wait more than 25 or 30 minutes, maybe not even that. I like Vertical Velocity. I think that
Twisted Colossus?
Twisted Colossus.
Yeah.
Yes, that's at Magic Mountain, right?
Yes. It's
so
crazy.
no, that is what Colossus used to be then. They did transform it into Twisted Colossus. So it did
But
the
Colossus
refurb.
used to be there?
That's the ride that you couldn't go on because they told you that you weren't tall enough.
I hate
Right?
that.
Oh, I'm getting confused on, I don't know.
I don't
Please
know.
be careful. So Vertical Velocity I like, but now this is my world. Welcome to my world.
Hayden, stop going on the table.
Now that we have Max Force, that, I mean, it essentially is the same purpose of a takeoff at, high speeds, but it has a little bit more to it. Vertical Velocity, not that I'm saying they should take it down, but I could understand if they took it down to replace it with something. Bring back Deja Vu. I loved Deja Vu, and I know so many people out there had. Yeah.
Wait, what is it?
I'll have to show you the video of it later, but I always enjoyed it. I know it was like a 2.5 hour wait for it, and it because it was one car on the track, so it was like Vertical Velocity. It actually was supposed to originally come out the same year as Vertical Velocity, but because one of the other parks didn't get a new coaster, we had to send them something to do with Deja Vu. Not sure if it was a piece or the ride or what, but we waited until the following year to get the
Hey,
ride
Mom.
when the other piece came in because they were missing a piece. I think
Hey,
it
Mom.
was. Yes, Talon.
So, how was so why does Deja Vu have one car?
Because of the way that it was on the track, you went forward and backwards, so you couldn't
Oh,
have
so
more than
it's-
one car
So
going
it's
at a
pretty
time.
much just exactly like
Vertical velocity in that sense, yes. But it had elements to it. I mean, I guess
Wait,
again,
Had
I don't know. I liked Deja Vu. That's just my
It had
personal
elements?
opinion. Yes.
I mean fire and stuff.
So vertical velocity, yes, I wouldn't, unless you're only there one time during the year and you want to ride it. I wouldn't wait that long for
Ride
it
what?
personally. Vertical velocity. It's
Yeah.
a fun ride, but it's not worth a huge wait.
Nope.
So, I hope they never get rid of the Whizzer, Joe. Yes, Joe, I agree because that, you know what? Forget
Isn't that
Demon.
almost
Forget
like-
Demon. Whizzer is the transitional coaster. I even think Whizzer might be a less height than Demon, if I'm not mistaken, because Demon goes upside down. Whizzer doesn't go upside down. The
Yeah, Wizard
bobsled.
is smaller.
So I think that it might be a 38 inch. Am I wrong with that? I don't know. But it's one that the kids can start to go on. I keep trying to talk Chayton into going. I think that if we can get him on something, although I took him on Barnstormer at Disney and he did not like that. So, but yes, Whizzer hopefully will stay. We'll see if they're able to replace the parts and everything. Joe, I want to see it race again. I'm assuming you're talking about American Eagle. Yes, I want to see it race again as well. And like I said, backwards possibly. Like here it is refurbished. Let's do a celebration and do the blue side backwards.
36 or 2 inches off.
36 for Whizzer?
Yeah.
Oh,
if,
yeah,
if
it's
he
a-
was an adult.
Right.
But if
So,
you're
okay.
8 or taller, you can be by yourself.
Okay, well, so then Whizzer is in the same category as Little Dipper and Sprocket Rocket and what's the other one? Isn't there another kids coaster?
I can't remember.
Not remembering right now.
Like Giant Drop.
No, maybe
Kids
Whizzer was
version.
the other one I was thinking of then. Okay, so those three are like the beginners,
Freedom.
and then Demon would be the mid-grade into the next level. Okay.
Mom?
Mitch, thanks for this live and answering a lot of questions, but I will be going now. I would definitely love if you could do more lives like this. Absolutely. I stopped doing lives. I was doing games live, but I didn't have that much of a turnout. So, but I like talking about theme parks anyways. So I will definitely do lives. Thank you so much, Mitch, for joining us. We appreciate you being here and asking some really good questions because I wouldn't know what to talk about if I didn't have people asking me questions. So hope you have a great night. Josh, your children sound like a blast. Tell them I think they are fantastic. Hey, guys, Josh thinks you're fantastic. They're running around. So they definitely keep me busy, but some days they drain me so much that it's a couch day the next day. Josh, I really enjoyed watching this whole video. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you for joining. Everyone who joined, thank you. This was just, I wanted to just have a chat with people, get to know what other people like and, what you guys always feel free to let us know what you want to see. I can try my best. So I definitely will do some more of these. I appreciate the feedback that you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to see who all is here because if you don't comment, I can't see if anyone is here because it's not working. I don't know what is wrong with it. So maybe if I go under live chat, I can toggle. Nope, top chat or live chat. That's it. Oh, was I missing live chat? Oh my goodness. I was missing live chat. I had it on top chat. Hold on. Let me just double check and see if there's any questions that I missed. Oh no, maybe it wasn't. There wasn't a whole lot going on, so maybe I didn't miss anything. I just thought I saw. Oh, I think Joe just asked it. That's why. Okay. Do you remember the 3-armed bird gauge ride? Yes, it was the not Whirligig, that's the swings. Oh my goodness, I knew this. Sorry, like all of a sudden, like just I know the ride. Yeah, they were white and red and blue, and we always called them the bird cages, but they were called whirl something whirl. Something like that. But yes, those Sky Whirl. Thank you, Bob. I knew someone would correct me. Thank you. I knew it had whirl. Sky Whirl was one that we enjoyed just going up and relaxing and chatting in and everything. There were so many. I want to do like a remembrance like chat on all the rides that are gone but not forgotten, because I mean there have been a couple that I was not even big enough to ride yet, like Z-Force and the Edge. I never rode those because they were before my time, but there's definitely a lot that were there that I miss. So that would be fun. We should do a talking about like the good old rides back in the day. So maybe we'll go ahead and do that one of these days. Lots of classics that I wish that they could just expand instead of taking things apart. But I do understand it's because they don't last forever. That's what happened to the Orbit. That was one of Talon's favorite rides, and he was sad. But yeah. So I think that we'll end it here. You guys had some great questions. Oh, how about Tidal Wave, Joe? That's one that I was thinking of. I remember riding Tidal Wave. I had to have been like 7. I was tall enough to ride it. I don't think it was like that. I think it was probably like around the 48-inch mark. And I remember one time we were there, and it was, you know, towards the end of the day, they were closing, and my friend and I kept going on it, getting off, running around, and going back on it as many times as we could. That one was fun, but I mean, have you been on the Hangover? Because that one, I know it's not like Tidal Wave, but it has like, you know, the upside down, back and forth kind of element to it. So I think that, although I was sad that King Chaos left, and that took over there, but I do like the Hangover, and both of the kids rode it one of the last times that we went. So they really did enjoy it as well. Yep, Tidal Wave will definitely be one that will always be one of my happy memories too. Shockwave, Deja Vu.
Tidal Wave and Shockwave?
What? Rolling Thunder.
What?
What else? What else am I missing? Oh, Raging Cajun, Cliffhanger. The Cajun Cliffhanger? Is that what it was called?
Mom,
Cajun Cliffhanger?
I don't know.
These are all rides that were gone before your time. Don't worry. I'm sure there's videos out there somewhere.
Put it 3D and then make a 3D thing that blows wind on you.
Oh, there you go.
Boom.
Well, one thing that was never a Six Flags thing that I really enjoyed, but it would have been better at Universal, but they had it at Disney, was Extraterrestrial. And Stitch's Great Escape took that over, but it was like a pretty scary, intense ride, and it totally would have been awesome as a Universal ride. But obviously, well, it wasn't part of like the Aliens franchise, though. It was just like its own thing. So definitely. Oh, Iron Wolf. Thank you, Joe, for reminding me of Iron Wolf. Hello. Iron Wolf, I had a up and down situation with. I guess I didn't mean that to be a joke, but I'm going to pretend like I did. I would gray out on it when I would go over that one loop. I think I talked about it earlier in this video. So I still rode it every single time. And I actually have a funny story. I'm not going to say the person's name, but one of my friends growing up, we were waiting for the Iron Wolf seat to click in. We're all standing there, and all of a sudden she's like, I'm going to jump. And it locked when she jumped, and she had to ride the ride without being able to step on the ground. And so that was, I think, the last time and only time she did that. But yeah, if you guys have any fun memories of any of the Six Flags rides, or if you have any funny moments, please feel free to share them in the comments of this video. Thank you to everyone who joined for this live. We will do more lives. I'm glad that so many people were able to make it and had some great questions. Next time I'll try and give a little bit more of a heads up even, so that way we can have more questions probably thought of, because this was the last minute thing. I decided to do at 3 o'clock today. And I'm going to have my Disney videos coming out. I'm going to have the Six Flags videos coming out that I have to edit from this last weekend. Again, we're going to be going out to California, so plenty more to come. So stay tuned. And if you enjoyed this live chat, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed so you can hang out with us again. Stay tuned for more. But until then, we'll see you at the next Mile Marker Live. Take care, everyone. Have a Six Flags day.